Let me be brutally honest with you right now. You know what the difference is between people who succeed and people who don't? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's not perfect timing. It's that successful people try, and unsuccessful people make excuses for why they can't. That's it. That's the entire difference. And I need you to hear this, really hear this. There is no excuse for not trying. None. Zero. Not a single legitimate reason why you can't at least try to pursue your goals, chase your dreams, build the life you want. I don't care what your circumstances are. I don't care what obstacles you face. I don't care what happened to you in the past. I don't care what disadvantages you have. There is still no excuse for not trying. Because trying is free. Trying costs nothing. Trying doesn't require permission. Trying doesn't need perfect conditions. Trying is available to everyone right now, exactly where they are. You want to know what an excuse is? An excuse is a carefully constructed lie you tell yourself to justify staying exactly where you are. It's a story you create to make yourself feel better about not taking action. It's a shield you hide behind so you don't have to face the discomfort of actually trying and possibly failing. I don't have time. That's an excuse. You have the same 24 hours everyone else has. You just choose to spend them differently. I don't have money. That's an excuse. Some of the most successful people in history started with nothing. They found a way. You can too. I'm too old. That's an excuse. Colonel Sanders started KFC at 65. You're not too old. You're just scared. I'm too young. That's an excuse. Mark Zuckerberg built Facebook in his college dorm room. Your age is not the problem. Your lack of action is. I don't have the right education. That's an excuse. The internet has more information than any university. Education is available to anyone willing to seek it. I don't know where to start. That's an excuse. Start anywhere. Start imperfectly. Start scared. Just start. I tried before and failed. That's an excuse. Every successful person has failed, multiple times. The difference is they tried again. Every single excuse, no matter how valid it sounds, is just a reason you're giving yourself permission to not try. And every day you accept those excuses, you're choosing to stay stuck. You're choosing to let your potential die unused. You're choosing safety over growth, comfort over achievement, excuses over effort. Let me tell you what trying actually means. Trying doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you have to know exactly what you're doing. It doesn't mean you need everything figured out before you begin. Trying means taking one small action in the direction of your goal. That's it. One action, today. You want to start a business? Trying is researching for 30 minutes. Trying is writing down 3 business ideas. Trying is talking to one potential customer. That's trying. You don't need a perfect business plan. You don't need funding. You don't need an office. You just need to try something, anything that moves you forward. You want to get in shape? Trying is doing 10 push-ups. Trying is walking around the block. Trying is eating one healthy meal. That's trying. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need a personal trainer. You don't need the perfect workout plan. You just need to try something, anything that moves you forward. You want to learn a new skill? Trying is watching one tutorial. Trying is practicing for 15 minutes. Trying is asking someone for advice. That's trying. You don't need to master it today. You just need to try something, anything that moves you forward. Trying is not about grand gestures. It's about small, consistent actions. It's about showing up. It's about doing what you can with what you have from where you are. And here's the beautiful truth. Trying costs you nothing, but gives you everything. When you try, even if you fail, you gain experience, you gain knowledge, you gain confidence, you gain proof that you're someone who takes action.
But when you don't try, when you let excuses win, you gain nothing. You stay exactly where you are. Your skills don't improve. Your confidence doesn't grow. Your life doesn't change. I want you to think about something. What would your life look like if you stopped making excuses and started trying, actually trying, not half-heartedly, not "I'll try when conditions are perfect," but genuinely, fully, consistently trying? What if you tried to build that business every single day for a year? What if you tried to learn that skill for 30 minutes every day? What if you tried to improve your health with one good decision after another? Where would you be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
You'd be somewhere completely different than where you are now. You'd be someone completely different. You'd have achieved things you currently think are impossible. But none of that happens if you don't try. None of that happens if you keep making excuses. And here's what kills me. Here's what absolutely breaks my heart. There are people with half your talent, half your intelligence, half your resources who are achieving more than you. Not because they're better than you, but because they're trying while you're making excuses. They don't have some secret advantage. They don't have some special gift you don't have. They just decided that they were going to try, regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the fear, regardless of the possibility of failure. And you can make that same decision right now, today, this moment. Let me tell you what happens when you stop making excuses and start trying. When you really commit to taking action despite fear, despite uncertainty, despite all the reasons your brain is generating for why you shouldn't. First, you discover that you're more capable than you thought. That thing you were so scared of, you can handle it. That goal that seemed impossible, it's possible. You just needed to try. Second, momentum builds. The first try is the hardest. The second try is slightly easier. By the 10th try, you're not even thinking about the fear anymore. You're just doing it. And momentum carries you forward. Third, opportunities appear. When you're trying, when you're taking action, when you're moving forward, opportunities show up that were invisible when you were making excuses. Doors open, people notice, things happen. Fourth, you become someone different. Someone who tries is fundamentally different from someone who makes excuses. You develop confidence, resilience, determination. You become someone who doesn't let obstacles stop them. And fifth, you get results. Not immediately, not perfectly, but consistently, over time. Trying produces results. Small wins that compound into big victories. Progress that adds up to transformation. But none of this happens if you don't try. None of this is available to people who choose excuses over action. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but you don't understand my situation. You don't know what I'm dealing with. You don't know how hard it is for me. You're right. I don't know your specific situation. I don't know your specific challenges. But I know this. Whatever you're facing, someone else has faced something similar or worse and still found a way to try. There are people who started businesses while working 3 jobs to support their family. There are people who learned new skills while battling serious illness. There are people who achieved their goals while dealing with tragedy, poverty, discrimination, and every obstacle you can imagine. They didn't have it easy. They didn't have perfect conditions. They didn't wait for all their problems to be solved before they started trying. They tried anyway. In the middle of the chaos, in the middle of the struggle, in the middle of the pain. And if they can try, so can you. Your circumstances might be difficult, but difficult is not impossible. Hard is not the same as can't be done. There is no excuse for not trying. Even if trying is hard, even if trying is scary, even if trying might not work, you still have to try. Because the alternative is unacceptable. The alternative is giving up on yourself. The alternative is living with regret. The alternative is reaching the end of your life and wondering what might have been if you just tried. Let me tell you what happens to people who don't try, who spend their whole lives making excuses, who let fear and doubt and what-ifs stop them from ever taking action. They stay stuck, year after year, decade after decade, watching other people achieve the things they dreamed about, watching opportunities pass them by, watching their potential slowly die from lack of use. They develop bitterness, resentment. They start blaming external circumstances for their situation. They convince themselves that success is for other people, people with advantages they don't have. They tell themselves it's too late, it's too hard, it's not meant to be. And they reach the end of their life filled with regret. Not regret for what they tried and failed at, but regret for what they never tried at all. Regret for the dreams they abandoned. Regret for the person they could have become. That's the cost of excuses. That's the price of not trying, and it's a price too high to pay. So, here's what I want you to do, right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect, right now. I want you to identify one thing, just one thing, one goal you've been making excuses about, one dream you've been putting off, one action you've been avoiding. Got it? Good.
Now I want you to take the smallest possible action toward that goal. Not a huge action, not a perfect action, just one small step that moves you forward. Want to start a business? Spend 15 minutes researching your industry. That's trying. Want to get healthy? Do 5 push-ups right now. That's trying. Want to learn something? Watch one educational video. That's trying. Want to improve a relationship? Send one message. That's trying. It doesn't matter how small the action is. What matters is that you're taking action instead of making excuses. You're trying instead of hiding. And then tomorrow, try again. Take another small action. And the day after that, another. And the day after that, another. Because success isn't built in one massive effort. Success is built in 1,000 small tries, 1,000 moments when you chose action over excuses, 1,000 times when you did it scared, did it imperfectly, did it anyway. Let me leave you with this final truth. You have 2 choices in life. Only 2. Choice 1, make excuses, stay comfortable, stay safe, stay exactly where you are, and live with the regret of never knowing what you could have achieved if you'd tried. Choice 2, stop making excuses. Start trying, face the fear, risk the failure, do it anyway, and build the life you actually want instead of the life you settled for. Those are your options: excuses or effort, comfort or growth, staying or becoming. And I need you to understand something crucial. Not choosing is choosing. If you don't actively choose to try, you're choosing excuses by default. If you don't make the decision to take action, you're making the decision to stay stuck. So choose, right now. Which life are you going to live? The life of someone who tries, who takes action, who refuses to let excuses win, who shows up every day and does what needs to be done even when it's hard? Or the life of someone who makes excuses, who lets fear win, who stays comfortable and safe and stuck, who reaches the end with regret for what they never attempted? One of those lives builds something, the other builds nothing. One of those lives creates possibility, the other creates nothing but missed opportunities. One of those lives leads to growth, achievement, transformation. The other leads to stagnation, regret, wondering what if. There is no excuse for not trying, not a valid one, not one that matters more than your dreams, not one that's worth the cost of never attempting what you're capable of. You are capable of more than you think. You are stronger than you believe. You are more resilient than you know. But you'll never discover any of that if you don't try. So stop making excuses. Stop waiting. Stop preparing to prepare. Stop overthinking. Stop letting fear make your decisions. Start trying. Today. Now. This moment. Try imperfectly. Try scared. Try when you don't feel ready. Try when you don't know how. Try when people doubt you. Try when you doubt yourself. Just try. Because trying is all it takes to start, and starting is all it takes to eventually succeed. There is no excuse for not trying,
So stop excusing and start trying. Your life is waiting. Your dreams are waiting. Your potential is waiting. Stop making it wait. Start trying. Now.